Hello and good morning and welcome to the United Stand. It's Saturday morning papers review, I suppose. We will have one tomorrow and Sunday as usual. However, let's start off with Pogba. Another meltdown overnight. I tell you what, I'm just so pleased that Manchester United have got a game today so that it's just not another long, drawn-out meltdown saga around Pogba. I am getting tired about it. I'll tell you why in a moment. But we have got a game today. We will see people who want to play for us like Zlatan and Mkhitaryan and Bailly. I'm really excited about that. Don't forget to join us live from 5:30 UK time for the watch along. But let's get into the Pogba thing. What's happened overnight? Well, there always seems to be a number of events, even in the few hours we're not on air. But he signed 3 or 4 Manchester United shirts while he's over in LA. He's at Universal Studios. He's posted on his Instagram to say, here I am at Universal Studios for my Manchester United medical, a troll there. And there's another Adidas advert to come out, which we'll discuss as well. The title of the video is Paul Pogba trolls Manchester United, and some people seem to be not grasping what that actually means. I've taken a literal description of what troll means, and in the Urban Dictionary, not the one that lives under a bridge. One who posts a deliberately provocative message to a news group or message board with the intention of causing maximum disruption and argument. Hence why Pogba has trolled Manchester United, in my opinion. I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. I still think he's coming to Manchester United. 100% believe that. But he's definitely trolled us overnight, indirectly. I think actually what he's doing is probably trolling the press. I think they're getting a bit fed up with the press, but indirectly or whatever, you're doing that to Manchester United fans because we all want him to sign. Well, most of us do. We're all eagerly waiting news. Him doing that about the medical in LA, mocking the fact that he hasn't actually had it. That will send some Manchester United fans into meltdown, thinking that the deal was going to be done with Real Madrid or something like that. Faisal's saying, Mark, stop acting like it's normal and the situation is in our favour. Clearly not. And Pogba is trolling us. He's trolling the media, says Guru Red Devil. I'm going to take a lot of your comments this morning because it's a morning show, so I don't expect the big figures to be as high. And also, I want to go through some live transfer news in a minute. So we've got a lot of time for you lot to get involved, so please do. Heard Pogba to cost 180 million euros after wages, says Andre Mascarenas. Dybala is better than Marshall, says Sad Rabzi. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, what I would say about Pogba is I am getting tired of it. Like I said at the start, he will sign for Manchester United, but I'm getting a bit tired of it. I think we'll be very careful. We've got people who have paid a lot of money around marketing in relation to Adidas, sort of mastering this, and they've been very good up until a couple of days ago. The recent first follows or whatever it is, that shows how much I take of their tagline. But their recent one, sort of a mashup of everything. You've got Pogba and Real Madrid are there again. Real Madrid are there on it now. Manchester United is still there, but it's like a compilation. So it's not as clear that he's coming to United now for some United fans. And it looks like Real Madrid are in the mix. It's weird. It's odd. I've spoken to Droughty. He's very good in that area. I've spoken to myself this morning. I do that. And it is odd. But what we sort of come to an agreement, and I think separately and then combined, is that if Paul Pogba goes to Real Madrid, which I don't think is going to happen, but let's just take some of the negative opinion that he could go to Madrid. If Paul Pogba goes to Real Madrid, I think Adidas would have made an absolute colossal mistake. And we don't, you know how you would feel. I would feel that they've completely mugged us off with this, and they are our biggest sponsor. And I just think there'd be a massive backlash against Adidas. I mean, would they really want that? Would they allow that to happen? Would they be that naive in their marketing to actually, think, oh, it's all right to like build it up and then it not to happen? Whether it's their fault or not, there would be a total backlash against that brand, and I just cannot move. There's loads of reasons to know and think that Pogba's coming to Manchester United, but that Adidas advert the other day, which was very good, was an obvious reason. It was one of many. If he now went elsewhere, it would just be perceived by everybody, the press, fans, that they've mugged us off. And why have they done that? So it just makes no sense in a marketing world at all. Although I do, the one today is, I think it's a bit cryptic again. But you might be annoyed if you're Real Madrid because it might sort of get your hopes up. It's weird how they're playing fans of two clubs off. I still think he's coming to Man United. Mark should stop disrespecting Lingard, says Willie Bard. It wasn't me. I met her in the shower. It wasn't me. I didn't know he was going to put it in the bin. And it was a joke. It's his girlfriend has got the top. It was a joke. It was a bit of a banter thing. Probably shouldn't have done it, but it was a joke. It certainly wasn't anything to do with me. I just don't think Lingard's a first-team player for Manchester United. I think if he bulks out, he might end up being a decent squad player. But I had an argument with somebody last night on Twitter. They were saying you've been really disrespectful to our youth team. I wish understand the club that you support, because Lingard's not a youth player. He came through the youth system. He's not a youth player. He's 23 going on 24. That's not a youth player. So I think some people get lost in that. But I ain't got any problems with Jesse Lingard. I just don't want him in the first team because he's not good enough. Kick off at 5:30 mark, says Mr. Mascherano. Don't listen to that wind-up merchant. It is not. It's at 6:30 tonight UK time. It's 4 a.m. in Jamaica, says Cristiano Games. And for everybody who wanted to know about that competition we've got for 9 of you to have a private hangout, I will be emailing the winners today, and I will announce them on the watch-along at half-time tonight. So that will be around 7:20 UK time if you're interested in that. So there's still time to get involved and email your entry in. All you've got to do is send us an email, soccerboxtv@gmail.com. It's in the description below. So, yeah, it's difficult. I think we are being played by the media. We are being played a little bit by Pogba and his representatives. It's not nice as a club. I've seen some comments today on Twitter this morning. Some fans really getting fed up with it. One of the standout comments for me was, Pogba better be world class when he comes, because all this, baiting us and all this lot, he better be good when he comes and make it worth the hype, which is a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game, but he obviously enjoys playing it. He's part of it with all the brands that surround him. I still think he's going to come, but even I'm just so happy there's a game, because I just can't be doing with another weekend of will he, won't he? And what we're hearing at the moment is it won't be this weekend. It might not even be next week, which is just ridiculous. I can't be doing with hanging on anymore. But another good point is, what does anybody know in the comment section? And I'll ask you this lot. Why is Paul Pogba, Chosen One, saying 60 Pogba vids? Well, it is pretty... I understand that. If you don't want to watch videos about Pogba, that's fine. But every few hours, there's new news about Pogba. It's also going to be our biggest signing in most people's lives. It's going to be a world record transfer fee. There's all sorts of adverts and campaigns around building this up. Of course, most videos are going to mention Pogba. We will talk about other stuff in a moment. But what somebody said, which is quite true, why is Anthony Martial, Schneiderlin back training and Paul Pogba is still having a holiday for another week? What is going on there? Why is he? Does anybody know why he is getting special treatment to have an extended holiday? It seems really weird. I think he will be one of the world's best players, but Messi's back training. I'm sure Ronaldo's, well, he's not because he's injured, isn't he? But why is Pogba being allowed to just have this massive holiday? It's really odd, really odd. I know the one thing I thought was that Serie A starts later. But I think I don't know whether all the Italian players have gone back or not. I don't know. Maybe it's just because Premier League players need to be back early. I don't know. Maybe that is it, but let us know. Because he actually played, says Sean Boswell. I don't think that makes any difference. If you're part of the squad, you're still training all the time to the final. I know Schneiderlin didn't. Pogba hasn't got a team yet. Juventus know he's not going back to the team. Griezmann's not back, says Abhishek. Okay, that's fair enough. I was throwing that out there, so there you go. What's the latest, Mark, says Luke McDermott. Let's quickly summarise it for those who are joining late. So overnight, if you're in the UK, he's in America, he's in LA, he's at Universal Studios. He's put up a post on Instagram saying, here I am for my medical for Manchester United whilst at Universal Studios. So it's a bit of a troll, because he's clearly just trolling the fact that the press think that he's had his medical. The second thing is that Adidas have put out another advert, which now includes Real Madrid and Manchester United, very close to Pogba, which I think is just weird. But he's also signed Pogba shirts, Manchester United Pogba shirts for fans over in America. What do you read into that? You can read it all sorts of ways. Jose refused to do a Chelsea one. Pogba used to play for Manchester United, so he might just be happy to sign it. Who knows? But as Ashwin Sundaram says, there is an element of boredom to it now. Let's move on to the next thing. That's the Pogba update. I think they're really enjoying the press are really enjoying it. But as I said, they've got to be very, very careful. If Pogba didn't come to Manchester United, I think it would be a massive own goal of epic proportions by not only him, his agents, but those who sponsor him like Adidas, because it would just totally and utterly isolate and mug off the club that you're supporting. So I'm still 100% he's coming. Jose Martinez says Vidal signed a United shirt and never signed. Yeah, exactly. You can read lots of things definitely different ways. But so what Shazmo says, what's happening? I'm still 100% he's coming to United. That's my thought. So there we go. Perry, give me a shout out, Mark. You've just had it. Can't wait to see Martial today, says Kunal. Talking about the game today, let's get positive. I think, you know what? Let's park Pogba away and for the weekend, because who cares what's going to happen? He won't sign this weekend, I don't think. But we've got a massive game tonight against Galatasaray. We're going to see the likes of Zlatan, and we've got all the Euros lads coming back like Martial, Schneidlin, and people who need to still prove themselves like Memphis. I'm really excited about it. I think Galatasaray will give us a decent game. I can't wait to see it's a strong squad. It's a very strong squad. I do think there's some deadwood in, as I said last night. Jones, Rojo, Valencia, Young. I don't really want them part of the squad, but the bigger squad maybe. Fellaini's in there. But seeing the likes of Zlatan, really excited. Can't wait to see how we line up tactically. We'll be doing that on the watch along. Join us for that. And then obviously after the game, we've got Sunday night show tomorrow. I'll be live again in the morning for the review of the papers, but we'll also be able to react to this game tomorrow as well. So we're starting to get into game territory, which is good. It's a nice thing. It's a nice, more realistic opposition to this transfer stuff that's going on. So we're lucky to have that. I'm excited about that. Ashwin says he hasn't got MUTV. That's where I watch it on the watch along. So join us for that. We do a commentary, sort of a commentary of the game anyway. So if you can't find anywhere to watch it, or you're watching it, however, join us for the watch along. Have 2 screens up, because the way we do it and interact with you, I think, is far better than the commentary you get on that channel anyway. I've never been a fan of that, but there you go. Watch along starts tonight at 5:30. So what? 7.5 hours. Join us for that. But let's talk a little. I don't know why I'm looking at those notes. They're from last night. Let's go to the BBC gossip column, because I think it's always the best place to get a roundup of what's going on. Arsenal still trying to get Lacazette, and I think Mahrez has snubbed them again. They're having a cracking summer, aren't they? Let's have a look for some Manchester United news. Chelsea are going to buy Lukaku back as well, so we're not the only ones trying to buy a player back. There was something about Manchester United, and I don't know why it's not right at the top. We normally are. Yeah, Manchester United closing in on the signing of Monaco's Brazilian right-back Fabinho. We've been mentioning him for a number of weeks now. He's somebody we sort of tipped right at the start of the summer that come to Manchester United. So it's nice when we get it right again. This is from Globio Esporte, which is Brazil. And obviously Fabinho is Brazilian. His agent is George Mendes, the same agent as Jose Mourinho. And he's a right-back. He's about 6'1" or 2". He's 22. He's fast. He's decent defensively, because Monaco are. He'd be a decent addition to the squad. I have concerns about it, because I want to see Darmian do well, and I think Jose can get the best out of Darmian. I also think Fosu Mensah is a decent right back backup. So why Brian another one? You get to a point where you start to sign players, and we're buying too many players in. I still want us to be developing our youth, and I still want some players that have had a bad season last year to be given a chance this year. But let's see what happens with that. It is a signing I do think will happen. Also, I think we need to sign a centre-back, and there's not a lot going on with that at the moment, but we do need to sign a centre-back. We can't rely on Rojo, Jones, Blind, and then Bay, who's going to need a bit of time to settle in, and Smalling, who apparently is carrying a bit of an injury. We need an experienced centre-back, and that's what I'm hearing as well. So hopefully we'll get into the market for somebody like Mustafi or Manolas or Bonucci, or I don't think Koulibaly's coming to us. Or, I know some people have mentioned Godin. Phil Stones. John Stones looks like he's going to Real Madrid. In fact, Rory Smith, who's a Times journalist, the Times is quite credible over in the UK. He's saying that Paul Pogba's transfer to Manchester United and John Stones' move to Manchester City are both only a matter of time before they happen. I think both deals will happen. I did sort of say at the start of the summer, as I flick back to your live comments as well, I did say at the start of the summer that John Stones was a realistic signing for Manchester United. And personally, it's only in the last week where I've started to think, no, it won't happen, because I think Jose likes him, but I don't think he suits the Manchester United squad that he's got. Buying John Stones, you're buying another potential good centre-back. We've got a lot of people who fall into that category, whether it's Bailly and Smalling, who are that bit further ahead, or whether it's people like Roshan Williams, Twansibi, who are potentially good players as well. You had John Stones in there. Where's your experience? And it's come out this week that Jose said, I really do like John Stones, but I won't be going for him because we need an experienced centre-back, and that's what we go. Ben Murray, what about Payet? We spoke about it for a few seconds last night. No, I'm not going to talk about it. It's not going to happen. I just think it's really, really bad, lazy journalism, unfortunately. I'm not saying I wouldn't like him. It's just not going to happen. And there's no indication that it's going to happen. So I wouldn't even bother wasting your time on that. Zayn El Badun is asking about that as well. Red Devil says, Mark, you getting the new red home kit? What do you think of the new white kit? I like all the kits. I just don't buy kits anymore. I buy tracksuit tops. I don't buy the football tops anymore. But if you are buying them, I think they're all really nice, really nice. And in my younger days, I definitely would have probably gone for. I think the white one's quite classy if you want to wear it out. But if I was going to play five-a-side, I think the red one's nice. Yeah. Nathan George says, Jose said 4 signings. Does that mean no more centre-back? I think those 4 signings are the signings he wants to make to the squad. And then quite rightly, he wants to have a look at everybody else because we have got a lot of centre-backs, etc. And then it will be a case of if I sell somebody, I'll bring somebody in. So, Mark, can you do a video on the EPL TV deal and what it means for the rest of Europe, says Nick Aquilani. We've got a Winter is Coming or Winter is Here video totally ready for when Pogba signs. So that will cover that. Don't worry about that. And it's sort of it's edited well to include what I said a year and a bit ago when Real Madrid were in for De Gea, and I had a right rant saying that winter will come for them. So it's going to be an interesting watch that, but we can't really put it out until Pogba's done, can we? Can Marino bring the best out of Memphis, says Rudy. I think today's a big game for Memphis. My prediction at the moment, sadly, I want to talk about what Cato Ellis is saying. My prediction at the moment is sadly that Memphis will spend the next season on the bench playing cameos, and then he'll be sold next summer. Because I think even if he plays really well, he's got Mkhitaryan and Martial ahead of him. He's got to get to his form of PSV, really. Yeah, and he's not showing that form at the moment. I really hope that he does, but he's got his work cut out. So I think he's going to be a bench player. I hope Jose can get the best out of him, though. And tonight is sort of important. If he even gets a chance to play, I'm sure he'll get at least 45 minutes. Should we go for Mustafi, says Ahmed? Yes, I think we should. I think he's got the credentials. He's the right age. And for 25 million, but I've got a feeling he'll go to Arsenal. Fosu Mensah is not leaving, Jose said it's part of his plans, says Craig Farrell. Yeah, we said this last night on the show. Just to clarify, Fosu Mensah's not going anywhere. We said last night that wasn't going to happen. It's just lazy journalism again, throwing him with everybody else. There's just no way he'll let him go. He reminds me a lot of SEN, and Jose loved SEN, so he won't let him go. Schweinsteiger, somebody asked about him. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go. I suppose it's a combination of reasons, really. I'm not happy about it, but he is a big earner. He is coming towards the end of his career. If you listen to the rumours, there was a bit of a divide in the changing rooms last year because he got preferential treatment from Van Gaal. We never would have got him without Van Gaal. It was one of the positives of Van Gaal. It's not gone to plan. He's only been a year here, which is, again, is another reason why I think he should stay. It's ridiculous that he's, it's been such a, not a disaster because he was actually quite good at the start of the season, but it's just not gone to plan. I would love him to stay. I think he's one of the best leaders we've got in the squad, certainly a better leader than the likes of Rooney, but it looks like he's going to go, and that's quite sad. That's not a dig against Rooney as a footballer, by the way, but he's not a leader. He's not a leader at all, and I think he's proven that for England and Manchester United. It's all going to be about Ibra, nothing about the kids. Lee Power. It will be tonight, but I'm looking forward to it. I hope you all are as well. Let's see if there's anything else about United. Oh, they're just talking about Mina Raiola's tweet yesterday, again, trolling about the parrots, which are all over. Journalists equals parrots, no deal done between clubs. It's a game between Italy press and UK press, who announce it first and who is worse. That was obviously Mina Raiola's comments yesterday, which, as you know, if you've seen the Adidas adverts, has got paper parrots all over it. So it's just all a game. The blah, 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 he started that off. I wouldn't take any notice of any tweet that Mina Raiola puts out. Even though he's Pogba's agent, he's clearly linked in with Adidas and feeding that campaign, as I think a lot of them are. It's all, I mean, it's a brilliant campaign if you're Adidas. As I said, we've talked it up a lot. But I just have, he'll sign for Manchester United, everything will be fine. What I'm saying is if he didn't, by some miracle, then I think the behaviour, the backlash would be ridiculous. Some people are saying, what was the troll? Obviously, a troll is when somebody does something deliberately to cause mass disruption and discussion. And Pogba saying that he was in LA for his medical at Universal Studios obviously is mocking the fact that a lot of press said yesterday he was in LA to have his medical. I personally have always said with any medical that it will happen in Carrington. And while he's in America, I can't see he's going to have his medical anyway. So, which means, again, it's not going to be official this weekend, is it? So that's where we are. Score predictions for tonight, says Optic Jamie. Well, it's interesting. I don't know loads about Galatasaray, but I expect they'll give us a game. Obviously, they'll give us a game. They've got 11 players out, but I think they'll be up for it. I I don't know the quality of Turkish football against where we are at with our fitness. So it's very difficult to give a score prediction. I did my team prediction, and that has to change it slightly now, but it's De Gea in goal, Darmian right back, Shaw left back. It would have to be Bailly, and I would play Blind over Rojo and Jones. As much as I don't want Blind playing centre back all season because we won't win the league, I would play Blind with Bailly on the right. Probably put Carrick in the holding midfield position, or Schneiderlin, won't be asked about that. Herrera box to box, Rooney number 10, Mkhitaryan on the right, Martial on the left, and Zlatan up front. I don't know whether that will happen because he'll probably mix it up with other players so that we've got a strong team in both halves. But that's what I would like to see happen. Will you do a watch along against Galatasaray, mate? Much love in Singapore, says Mikio. Yes, we are. We are doing a watch along. It is at 5:30, so we'll go live an hour before kickoff, because kickoff is at 6:30. So we'll be live with the team news at 5:30, talking about stuff before, and then obviously when the game kicks off. So yeah, I forgot to say that. If you are watching us tonight, unite the United Stand Army, like, share. Let's get everybody watching and involved like you have done before. I think we had a good couple of thousand people watching last time, which would be great. I'm not decided. I mean, I'll throw this to you because a few of you watching. I haven't actually asked anybody to do the watch along with me. We did the Wigan one with just me. We did the Dortmund one. I had a guest with me. When it's just me, I interact with the comments a hell of a lot more. When we've got somebody, it's not just me talking. So I'll hang on for a minute and see what you would prefer, and then we'll go with that, because I can get somebody to do it, or I can give them the night off and just do it myself. It's up to you which one you would prefer with a watch along. I suppose, I mean, if it's me for the whole time, it's me talking a hell of a lot, but there's a lot of interaction with the comments section. Do it alone, Mark, says Renel. Connor says guest. Alone, says Jamie. Alone, says Jose. Alone. Do it yourself. Get guest. Connor again. Mark, good job. Do it yourself, Mark. On your own. I prefer it when it's just you, says Andre. Either are fine. Alone. Do with comments. Alone. Fuck it. You know what? The United Stand is always a democracy. There's a few of you saying guest, but a lot are saying guest now. Oh, shoot. No, I think it is more alone. Let's see what happens, but it is a democracy. I'm more than happy to do it alone. It is a pre-season game anyway, and we're always up for trying things. It's always a challenge to do it on your own, so I might do that. We'll see how it goes. See, I'll have to give my voice a rest for the rest of the day. But thanks everybody for watching. I like doing these morning ones on the weekends. It's quite good, and I think also there's different time differences everywhere. So we're probably catching people who have to stay up for the evening game. So hopefully, I think it would be early evening in Australia. So good day for all those lots. I hope I've got that right. And everybody else, whatever time it is, hopefully we can catch that and help you. As I said, I haven't announced the winners for the private hangout yet, of which there will be 9. I will be emailing you this afternoon. The video description is in there. There's loads of stuff in the video description, whether you want to contribute to the channel or whether you want to subscribe to United Stand Extra Time, which is back tomorrow night after the Sunday night show. That's going really well. Do drop the video a like, get involved with the United Stand, and unite the army for the watch along later on in about 7 hours' time. We want you watching. Get involved. Get everybody sharing involved with it. And if it's going to be me and you alone, the more the merrier, the more the better. So I'll see you later. Thanks everybody for watching, and enjoy the rest of your days, and see you again for tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Cannot wait. It's 7:20 in Sydney, says Dave Willits, and it's 9:20 in New Zealand. So it is a good time. It is a good time. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all later.